Hey gang, Kawaii50 here, and I kind of wanted to talk about Umamusume because I have been playing it a lot recently, if my shorts I've been putting out have been any indication.
Imaginary technique. Hollow. Purple.
Now, I've really enjoyed Umamusume. I've enjoyed the anime, I enjoy the game, and I enjoy the way it is blowing up in popularity. Something that you would think might not necessarily catch on. I mean, it's anime horse girls running along a track, right? Some people might think that's too weird for it to catch on and be as popular as it is. But we've hit the point with Umamusume where it's like lightning in a bottle. It is insane how popular this has become over globally. Like, we've got streamers like Ludwig and Northern Lion streaming it. They've done some great work to push the popularity of the game and really get it in front of a lot of eyes. People that might not even have given it a glance if they hadn't have happened to see it on one of those streams. We've had major media outlets even doing like articles on Umamusume. I think I saw something about Umamusume on freaking Sports Illustrated. If you'd asked me 5 years ago if that was going to happen, never would have thought so. Never would have thought so. And at least in my experience overall, the community has been welcoming. The community has been open. It's just been a group of people that just really want to share what they like about this franchise, being very helpful with each other when it comes to training tips, when it comes to, you know, helping you prepare for things that are going to be down the line, like the infamous Kita-san Black card that's going to come out. There's been a lot of really cool people I've talked to in the Umamusume community. A lot of you know who you are. I'm going to just give Nekopon a shout out because she was one of the people that first introduced me to the concept of Umamusume. Really great person you should check out. But I mean, like with any piece of media as it becomes popular, there are going to be those people who don't necessarily like the fact that Umamusume has become so popular, that Umamusume might be getting a very strong foothold among who they would consider normies. And there are, of course, those people who like to stir up controversy. I mean, regardless of either side of the aisle, there are going to be people on both sides, and that's just not me trying to waffle and not blame anybody. It's just a fact from what I've seen in this community that don't want certain people in the community for one reason or another. When it comes to this gatekeeping, when it comes to this controversy, you've kind of got to look at it from a couple of different angles. The first and easiest angle to look at it from is that any sort of controversy, any sort of naysaying, any sort of negativity that is pushed on social media, that does sell and that does make money for a lot of people. I'm sure you've seen one or two streamers, YouTubers out there, not me because I find it a waste of time to make videos about things I hate, but who will just constantly make videos about how terrible something is, how something is getting ruined, why X is bad while Y is bad, and that is just their entire mindset, that is their entire personality, and it works well for them because you've got the people who also hate lots of things that are going to go and follow those YouTubers, those streamers, those personalities. And then you've also got those people who, you know, hate that they're like that, but like hate watch those people. And even though they are, you know, being negative towards that person who is negative, they are still making that person money. So it benefits that person to continue making content that people will be upset about. So if you ever see anybody stirring the pot, that is one of the primary reasons, at least from a YouTuber, streamer, internet personality standpoint. But there's another angle that some of this negativity can come from, and it's one I personally understand. It's one I personally dealt with when I was younger. Something I ended up really having to grow out of and come to terms with as an ancient anime fan. Now, we're not talking about the era of when you could only find bootlegs of Robotech on VHS that were shipped over from Japan. We're talking more about the, you know, beginning of Toonami era. When Dragon Ball Z first started getting shown in the States, the first Gundam was Gundam Wing. That whole kind of era of anime here in the US. That is the kind of era that I was coming from. I'm going to be honest, if it was anything beyond Pokemon that I ended up enjoying, yeah, I was bullied for it. Yeah, people thought I was weird for liking this weird Japanese thing from Japan. And there was a time when people who would have once bullied me for that thing also ended up liking something similar or liking that specific thing further down the line. Now, I mean, as a kid, you don't really have that sort of ability to, reflect on things. So, of course, didn't get an apology, didn't get anything like that. And, sometimes you can end up resenting those people and wondering, why would I want this person in my hobby? This person who once treated me this way for enjoying this thing. And if this person comes into my hobby, they might end up irrevocably changing my hobby in a way that I don't like. Now, I don't think this is a danger with Umamusume. I think the Japanese fan base has sort of set in stone the way they want Umamusume to be set and Umamusume to be perceived, and that has bled over into the Western fan base. And that's been like a good thing about social media, ironically, is that we have the ability to talk with these Japanese fans and sort of, see how the franchise is perceived and sort of get those vibes, as the kids say, from them. And we can also see that Umamusume does appeal to all kinds. I know men, I know women, I know all kinds of people of all kinds of ages who are enjoying the show, enjoying the game, all because it sort of provides this, I'm trying to find the word for it, this setting, this wholeness, this sort of purity that has a mass appeal to a lot of people. But then when you have people within your anime, your gacha, your weeb fandoms who, and I say that as a weeb, who, still hang on to these resentments, who still hold on to this fear that their thing is going to be changed if too many people end up enjoying this thing, you're gonna get these clashes, you're gonna get this controversy, and you're gonna get people that feed off of this controversy. One thing I've really learned as I've grown older is that one of the only constants in life is change. Things are going to change, things are going to be different, and that also extends to your media franchises. Standards are going to change, overall perceptions are going to change. Things that might once have been okay in the past may not necessarily be okay now. And, themes may be different. Things may be built to target an audience that is no longer necessarily you. And you've got to understand that as these franchises continue to grow and as these franchises continue to try to live and thrive, they need to change in order to continually attract a new audience to come in and enjoy the thing. You can't just focus on your old audience and expect to live forever. You've got to go ahead and continually expand, continually try to bring other people into enjoying the thing. Now, yes, you can look at this as a way to, be combative, be resistant, things like that. But I mean, as I've grown older, as I've come to accept this, I tend to look at it as an opportunity to make new friends, to meet new people, to try to help people capture some of that joy I felt when I ended up getting into these franchises. I've seen a lot of stuff recently with Gundam, for example, where I'm like, hey, you really enjoyed Witch from Mercury, right? You like that. Maybe check out the OG. Maybe see what's going on with my boy Char. Maybe see what's up with that. Yes, my favorite Gundam is Zeta Gundam, which is the old one, but I know old school Zeta Gundam is not really a good way to necessarily onboard people to the franchise. That's sort of more of a, once you get locked in, you end up pushing yourself into that particular thing. But if we didn't have the newer thing for people to latch onto, for people to use as their sort of entry point, there might not necessarily be a new audience that enjoys the older thing. I know I speak about Gundam, that's just like my favorite franchise and one of the easiest jumping off points for me to explain with that. No, Umamusume is still a franchise comparatively in its infancy. I mean, they just dropped their second anime, Cinderella Grey. The game has just started getting traction in the West, and overall it's still got plenty of room to grow and plenty of room to sort of spread its wings and find new fans to come into it. I guess what I'm just saying is give people a chance. You shouldn't be holding on to that resentment if you were a person like myself who was bullied in the past over liking the thing that was different. Take this opportunity to find some people who have things in common with you. I did, and honestly, it was one of the best things for me. And I guess I just also want to caution people, don't fall for the people that are trying to stir up controversy, trying to divide things, overall just trying to make people upset and keep people fighting. And this just doesn't extend to the Horse Girl game. This extends to a bunch of different games. There's a lot of people out there who just make their living off of keeping people angry when it comes to games, and the best thing you can do, both for your own mental health and sort of trying to stifle the people that are just trying to push and grift like that, is just don't give them the time of day. Just ignore them. It is going to be far more beneficial to you to focus on the things that make you happy rather than the things that make you upset. And it's gaming at the end of the day. It is not as important an issue as some of the other issues out there today. It is a hobby that you should enjoy. You should interact with the people who enjoy the thing like you do and make you happy, and you should just not worry about the people that don't. Let me know your thoughts about Umamusume and the way it's sort of blown up globally down in the comment section below. Let me know if you've found some way to connect with somebody through Umamusume, and that, you know, it's just been a great way for you to join a new community and make some new friends. And let me know if that's happened with you with any other franchise. I know I love talking with people about Gundam. I've met a bunch of excellent people out there who also enjoy Gundam, so that's really been a very good thing for me overall. This is Kawaii50, hoping you have a phenomenal day. Stay safe, stay happy, and I'll see you all in the next one.